Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's me again, Chelsea, and we've got another video in our Vida 2 content. So for today I thought I would talk about some indie books that I've been sent, some indie books that I have bought. This is like a mini haul. I know I did a haul, or I should have done a haul last month, which would possibly include these books as well, to be fair. So we're just going to talk about them in more detail, because usually in my hauls I don't go through what books are about. I just kind of show what I've got, how I've got them, that sort of thing. I thought we'd go a little bit more in depth. I have got 6 books in front of me. Yeah, I know I am expecting a couple more as of when I'm filming this currently, but we're going to talk about these ones anyways, and I always unbox other books in vlogs anyways, but just at this moment, these are the 6 that I'm going to talk about. We'll talk about the 2 that I have recently bought myself, and then we'll talk about 4 that I have very kindly been sent. So, the first one I'm going to talk about is one that I have seen everywhere constantly, and the lovely Luke from Luke's Book Nook, that is a mouthful to say, has been nagging me to read. And I did an Instagram and a Twitter poll for these books, I don't know, like a month or so ago, again as I'm filming this, so I don't know how long it's been when this goes live, but one of them that was picked was none other than The Umbral Storm by Alec Hudson. I know Luke loved this book. I have seen it in many places and I have heard nothing but good things, so I thought I'd finally bite the bullet and buy a physical copy, and it also did win one of the polls. So this one, I'm going to read you the blurb for every single book, because I couldn't tell you much about any of these books because I'm yet to read them. So this one says, 1,000 years ago the heart of the world was shattered, its fragments scattered across the lands. In the chaos that followed, martial orders arose to gather these shards, for it was found that great powers were granted when these pieces were bonded to the flesh of the chosen. These are the sharded few, warriors imbued with the divine energies that once coursed through the heart and driven to absorb enough fragments to claim godhood. Darren has known nothing in his life except suffering. Orphaned at the edge of the realms, indentured to a cruel slaver, he has little hope of escaping his circumstances, but elsewhere ancient powers are stirring, new alliances threaten the peace of the old order, and against all odds, Darren will find himself a player in a game unlike anything he could have imagined. So like I said, I've heard nothing but great things about this book. I've seen many people sing the praises of this book, so I'm very excited to get to it. Hopefully that is soon. But we all know my never-ending TBR, and we also know my fickle reading habits. So this is the first one I bought myself. Now the second one I bought myself, again, won a poll, and that is this one, which I've had on my list for ages, mind, which is Deathless Beast by Andrew D. Meredith. Both of these are book 1 in, I don't know how big the series are going to be, but both of them are book 1, and this says, fates intertwine, pantheon calls, darkness grows, far too many blame their own bad luck on Hannon and Ralia Clow, I think. When opportunity knocks, they leap to put their past behind them. In the turmoil of a holy order fraught with lies, frustration and heresy, the paladin Jinid Brezstein is called to deeper faith. When Catium takes up a seemingly ageless seed pod from a botanist's desk, she cannot guess at the change it will bring. When life stirs within the seed, while the path to deeper faith beckons, while there is coin to be made upon the road, darkness moves, a winged, deathless wrath invisible to the gods. All would-be heroes must give their lives, or be made illustration, for those who've still to come and try to fall or rise above their station. Deathless Beast is volume 1 of the Skeleton Saga, the epic fantasy series from Andrew D. Meredith. Again, this sounds great. I don't have much indication. Obviously, like, I'm reading the descriptions and blurbs to you guys, and I've read them before, but reading them again, I still don't have much feelings or anything about these books and about who is in them. So I'm looking forward to, again, trying this out. Right, now we are into the books that I was very kindly sent and or I've won. So first up is this one, which is The Elementals. Now, I'm guessing from this cover we will have something to do with the elements in this book. So This says, 4 lost princes, 1 corrupt uncle. Eastport, a place of former peace, has rapidly turned its back on natural power wielders known as elementals. Under the rule of domineering magistrate Rufus, elementals are subject to fates of imprisonment, death, and forced exposure to a mysterious substance known as Uskar, I think. While the future continues to look grim for elementals, the ocean tides seem to have other plans. 4 brothers united by royal blood and a shared goal of restoring the kingdom must find a way to work together before it is too late. So I'm sure earth, fire, water, air is going to come into play somehow. I'm just not too sure how exactly, but I'm looking forward to finding out. And if you can hear children screaming in the background, I'm ever so sorry. They seem to have all, well, it's 6 o'clock at night. It's almost 6:30. They all must have been released from, I don't know, tea time or whatever it is that happens at 6 o'clock at night for children. Anyways, next is none other than this, which is The Many Shades of Midnight by C.M. De Bell, and I am actually, I'm grateful for anyone who sends me books, obviously, do not get me wrong, but I am extra grateful for this book because it's a standalone, so it means when I read this, that will be it. It's not starting another series, it is just this book, which I do love. So this says, a mysterious enemy threatens the continent of Alasia, spreading a deadly sickness that kills or transforms everything it touches. In desperation, the king of Lankara sends an envoy to his disgraced former military commander, alias Rain Sarah, recalling him from exile and begging his aid. But when a discovery links the contagion to the mining of Iserium, the most precious mineral resource in Alasia, it pits Alias against the powerful mining syndicates in a conflict that could have catastrophic consequences, because the syndicates will fight to defend their wealth and power, even if the cost is everything and everyone. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how this plays out, because especially, like I said, it's standalone, but it's also not a big standalone. It is still less than, it's 334 pages. So I'm looking forward to seeing how all of that fits in this book. And again, all the covers for these books are stunning. So there is that. The next one is an arc that I need to read and review by an author I have read from before, and that is Wild Court by Matthew Samuels. I read a book earlier called Small Places, which I talk about, whenever I talk about that book, I talk about how I adored it because of the fact it is based predominantly, or it mentions places where I grew up in Gloucestershire, which is absolutely bonkers, and I really loved seeing it in that sort of setting. So I'm excited to see what he does in this one. And this one says, a secret organisation is losing the battle to maintain the empathy levels that sustain our planet's barriers against the nightmare worlds. Meanwhile, a young aristocrat safeguards a terrible secret, sponsoring an archaeology graduate obsessed with biblical artifacts. An all-knowing orphan worshipped by a cult joins a textbook exemplar of toxic masculinity and an introverted librarian. Together with a retired demon hunter, they'll face the apocalypse. Like, does that not just draw you in? Like, that's a really weird mix of misfit people that I do greatly want to read. They also have another series which I'm actually yet to dive into, which is Dusk, and this is the bookmark that they very kindly sent me to go along with that. So I'm looking forward to reading this. Again, like I said, I enjoyed the previous book that I read from them, so I'm sure I'm going to enjoy this just as much, if not more so. And then the final book that I'm going to just show you and talk you through is a book that I won on a giveaway. They also sent me a range of bookmarks and some stickers as well, and that is none other than the Hero Interviews by A. Ewington. So before I even read the blurb, I believe this is like a bind up of Hero's, obviously, interviews, kind of giving you a different take on the hero that everyone knows in the story. So the back of this is kind of like a poster, which I quite like, and it says, heroes, you can't swing a cat without hitting one. You can't even hatch a nefarious plan without some adventuring party invading your dungeon to thwart you, so it stands to reason they're a force for good. Right? Well, yes and no. The Hero Interviews is a departure from the usual swords and sorcery yarn. It's a sometimes gritty, sometimes amusing, but completely bonkers look at the realm of heroes. I have heard great things from what I've heard of this book, as I have for all of the books that are on this list, but the thing I'm particularly interested in this is that I feel like it's going to be a book that makes me chuckle. There are footnotes throughout this book, and it is in like a range, well, it seems to be in a range of, there you go, yeah. It seems to be in a range of actual interviews and then like stories with block text. So this page is like pretty good to say like block text and interviews. So I'm really looking forward to this, and I feel like it's also a book that either you will be able to speed through because of the way it's set out, or you'll be able to like take breaks in between because they are all separate interviews. So there you go. Let me see if I can lift these up. Here are 6 books that I have won / been gifted / bought myself that I am really excited to get to, that I have recently hauled. So this is a mini indie haul thing. I'm really glad that I actually took the time to kind of delve more into these books, give you a synopsis of the book as it stands from the back of the book. I know I haven't really come up with anything myself, but obviously as I read these books I learn more about them, and then I can tell you more about them, and I vlog the experience, and then you come along for the experience and all of that fun stuff. So yeah, that is this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. It supports me and my channel. Leave me a comment down below of an indie book you are excited to get to. If you want to leave me an emoji, leave me any purple emoji, because this is a very colourful book. And if you want to see more of me, keep up with Vida 2, where I will be posting every single day this month. Please consider subscribing, ring that notification bell down below so you can keep up with my videos, like I said, every day this month. Liking videos really supports me, lets me know you're enjoying the content. Subscribing really supports me, let me know that you're enjoying this sort of thing. But otherwise, that is everything for today's video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you're having an amazing day, and I'll see you tomorrow for another one. Bye.